Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to EUGE, an inside look at chasing a dream.
We're here.
Hey. Woo, man, we put together a show every week. Myself and my good friend, my partner here, Chuck Roy.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
We talk to young comics such as our guest. Pronounce your last name for me.
It's Haltom.
Haltom, right?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, I keep saying Haltom, and Chuck keeps saying no. So it was Haltom.
Bradley Haltom.
Haltom, right
Yeah.
on. Okay,
What
so
do you keep saying?
I say Hole with an O, like Haltom instead of Haltom. But now I know.
Phonetically, it's hard for me to pronounce.
Yeah.
To relay to other people.
Right.
So.
It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. So,
haven't seen you in a while.
yeah, it's been a while. You've been on the show
Yeah.
before. You've been on EUGE before. It's been a while. We weren't in this studio.
Yeah, that was in the T Radio V studios. When that was,
Oh my God! You go back to T Radio V?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow! I didn't know we had anybody on.
Yeah, we have several.
It's a whole different show now.
Yeah.
We don't have any
it's the
angry producers
graduation
yelling
cast.
at you. Yeah, yeah. Oh, let me get rid of my towel and my tablet. So anyway, it's stuff that just bothers me.
We're going to get to the show
We're
soon.
going to get to the show. So thanks for coming.
My
Thanks for
pleasure.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, so Chuck, I wanted to talk to you first. You had your the spaghetti western.
Yes.
Spaghetti western was at the
It was at
Jake's?
Jake's.
Jake's Food and Spirits, Chuck.
Oh my God! Bradley played our announcer and righteously got to make fun of me for forgetting the name of the venue.
right.
And I continually we wrote in just me not getting the name of the venue. I kept calling it Fag Bar. It was,
So tell our audience about your show, the Spaghetti Western show.
The Spaghetti Western
I'm going
Comedy
to
Show
adjust your mic
is
one more time. Go ahead, keep talking.
the Spaghetti Western Comedy Show is an old school radio play Western, like a Western comedy. So
Right.
this one was about the death of the 4 Nick caterers. So it was 4 guys named
Were
Nick.
they black?
4 guys named Nick who were caterers.
Oh, Nick Caterers.
Nick caterers. So yeah, so there was Nick Knack, Nick Goods, Stevie Nicks Nolte, and Saint Nick.
And who got killed?
All 4 of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it was the death of the 4 Nick caterers.
Wow.
The bear went on a murderous rampage.
Yeah, live sound
pretty
effects
intense.
and cap guns. I wear a Western hat. It's very fun.
And it's not a stand-up show, so don't come expecting to see
you
your
get to
stand-up
see a
show.
little bit of stand-up. We ended up, I think the audience was wanting to have some stand-up, so
Okay.
we ended up having some stand-up, and then it was about an hour of a spaghetti Western. It was fun. People enjoyed it. I think I could write another script.
All right. Well, you're going to have to because you got another show coming, right? What date is that?
Yeah, July 5th.
Yeah.
So I have to write another script. I'm thrilled about that.
All right, fantastic. Right on. Cool. Man, that is an up-your-nose shot.
It is right up his.
Jesus Christ, man. I didn't know it was that tight on you.
It is.
Yeah, that's like, well, that's okay. I mean, I don't mind.
You like that?
You're cute. Whatever. I don't know. Does he look good on?
I like that. It's a good shot of you
Yeah, that's nice.
when you talk to him.
Yeah.
It
All
looks
right.
good.
All right.
And, yeah.
So welcome. All right, so let's get into your story, man. I mean,
Okay.
we talk to people, young comics up and coming, and you're a young comic up and coming. What's your story? I mean, how did you get into stand-up? What got you here?
Just decided to do it one night. I'm a adamant listener of the Joe Rogan podcast. I've always been a fan of stand-up comedy. So, well, not I guess
Came at
always,
3.
but since I was probably 13, 14 years old, loved stand-up. And about 3 years ago, I was listening to one of Rogan's podcasts, and he mentioned, hey, if you ever want to do stand-up, just go to an open mic.
Right?
And I was like, all right, I'll go try an open mic. So I went up to the Squire and waited for 3 hours, didn't get on, got to tell one joke, and it went really well. And that
The
was
Squire
it.
experience,
That
right?
was it for me. I mean, that was,
One joke and hooked.
yeah,
Right on.
people laughed.
Yeah.
It was it's the whole experience. It's the adrenaline. It's the anxiety. It's
It's
being
that
afraid of
first
going up for
reaction?
the first
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
and then it goes well,
Right.
and then that was it.
And it went well?
Now I absolutely love it, and it's
Right.
what I want to do.
All right. So Chuck was telling me, I've seen, you've done shows at our show. And Chuck and I have talked about your show. We talk about all the comics that are coming on our show. And I guess you have a bit in your act about your 2 dads.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about your 2 dads.
That was one of the first bits that I wrote. I I have 2 dads. I mean, and that's like gold.
Right.
When it
Oh, yeah.
comes to
That's,
comedy,
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, why wouldn't I
Do
exploit
people
that?
think you made
So-
that up?
Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes people are like, do you really have 2 dads? Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
Right.
So I do actually call them dad, and mom, dad. I
Really?
say that in my act, but
Okay.
when I'm referring to them, just, I mean, because it's either that or I call my quote unquote stepdad Russ.
Okay.
I have a biological mom.
Gotcha.
I lived with her, most of my life. My dad and my mom were married for a while, had me, and my dad came out.
Okay.
Came out of the closet,
Right.
and obviously that's not conducive to
Yeah,
a heterosexual
can't be married to a woman
monogamous
and be gay.
relationship.
Yeah,
right.
right,
So yeah, then they separated and kind of lived through that for.
How
for
old
quite
were
some
you
time.
when this happened?
I was 5.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Wow.
was 5. Well, I was 4 when they separated. I was 5 when I found out my dad was gay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's why they had separated.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Now
Mhm.
it's
Right.
great, and I feel very fortunate to have that background, because it's helped me to be very accepting of everybody, you know what I mean? And I don't, I'm in this position now where there's no room for prejudgment of another human being.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I'm from such a colorful background. Back then it was a little weird, to be honest with you. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness as well.
Oh, wow.
And
You can't be gay and Jehovah Witness.
no,
right?
you
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
cannot be. And I still remember
Is there a religion you can be gay and be?
Catholic.
Catholicism now, yeah, apparently, right?
You can be Pope and be gay.
Unitarian
Yeah,
would work.
yeah, that'll work, yeah.
They'll let you in.
But I think
Methodist,
that-
I think.
I'm pretty sure you can even be Catholic these days and be gay if you want.
Yeah, the new pope
Yeah.
changed all the rules.
I like that guy.
But as a child, it was uncomfortable because I, through the course of being a part of that religion, I always looked down on my dad.
Okay.
And we didn't reconcile that until I was probably 11, 12 years old. And
Gotcha.
then even then, there was some baggage, and we got drunk one night about 10 years ago and
And
hashed it all out. Cried, and it was quite the experience.
that's got to
but,
be something. That's
yeah.
got to be something. Your religion to tell you that, your dad, is not.
Right. Well, and I,
know.
I called him when I found out that he was gay, and I scolded him. I condemned him based on biblical philosophy, theology.
At age
And
5?
At 5.
Wow.
I was very zealous, and
Well, yeah.
I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
So you believe what your parents tell you. You believe
Yeah.
what all the people that are around you that you look up to tell you, and you just want everybody's approval. So you want mom to be really happy with you. So you dive. I dove right into that religion and was very zealous for a long time.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So you don't get to have Christmas if you're a Jehovah Witness.
No,
So that sucks.
no. I had my first Christmas at
Now let me ask you this:
18.
did you get a bunch of presents around Christmas time, but they weren't Christmas presents?
No. Well, my dads would celebrate Christmas with me and my younger brother,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom would just buy us gifts throughout the year
Okay.
because she didn't want us to feel excluded.
Right.
Even though inherently you do, because you're not
Because it's
part of the
yeah.
majority. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you kind of feel outcast. But
That's some kids in
did
my
her
family
best.
that were Jehovah Witness, and they would get gifts at
Right.
Christmas that weren't Christmas presents.
Right. Those little loopholes. Like I still want an iPod,
Right,
but as long as
exactly
that's
right.
nothing to do with Christmas,
So that's exactly how that turned. All right.
it's a guilt-free iPod.
So we looked you up online today.
Okay.
Well,
Please tell me you did not
It
pull
is-
up that video again.
It is which one did we not pull up
Oh.
again this time?
If you pulled up the one, okay. First of all, I need to apologize because
Where's the
those
one
videos.
of you singing karaoke?
Yeah, we got one
Oh
of you.
yeah, that was fun.
Was it?
Belted some Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
enjoyable.
Let's have a look at that one.
Get
That
you a
one's
lot
gonna
of
be
gigs.
click. Yeah. Hit the play on that.
Yeah, with Ultra Sex Laser.
Click down at the bottom down here. There you go. Bring us in. Cut. Yeah. There we go.
So at least this one is more recent. Last time I was on, you guys pulled up
How recent is this?
I'm about to go do the ballpark grand slam.
over the winter.
Sex laser
There weren't
play
really any
About 6
jokes in this
months
though.
shit out here. But
Very few, just the way that they put it together.
You didn't cut this.
No,
Oh, that's why it sucks.
no, Ultra Sex Laser.
Okay.
Cut it.
See, I was telling
I
you.
did like
Chuck,
a 7-minute set.
I look festive as fuck.
Look at this. You got that, and then there's a
I've been
clip.
writing myself
Yeah,
And then
letters,
it kills
skip
you.
your
checking
joke.
balls, and then I find them the next day.
Here's
stuff like,
one joke
"You're
of
not
you.
that fat, Brad. How many people have ever in the history of humanity have died from overdosing on marijuana? Anybody? 0. You're absolutely right. 0. Here's the thing, you guys. Life is terrifying.
This guy's got to get a back camera.
It's fucking terrifying. Not only that, but you are an astronaut
Not one
on a
joke is
biological
coherent.
spaceship hurling around a giant
Yeah,
nuclear
yeah,
explosion
that's,
at
he missed the
65,000
punchline
miles
of the
an
Right, because
last
hour.
I
joke.
did some of this stuff on Saturday
Yeah,
night.
yeah.
Sleep with this woman later. She's for sure not
Or
gonna
I
be
say
thinking
he,
of me.
I assume it's a guy editing.
You
And you guys, thank you so
This
much.
guy.
I'm Bradley Haltom.
so
What's your other
I mean, I don't know what to say about that, to be honest with you. I mean, that's
We're
not...
being-
you want to see him singing? Click on there. Let's move down some. Right there he is. He's in it.
I
He's
think
in
I'm
it.
gonna
He's in
start
it.
doing karaoke for my
I love
PR
this.
video.
Isn't this great?
Thanks, Tony.
I'm digging this. I'm digging this.
Let's get him doing some stand-up. Oh,
All right.
you look really
Get the
happy
oth-
about that.
Yeah,
You
get
look-
the other player over there. Player number 2. Let's click that.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
play
looking
that.
at player number 2.
Click on.
Oh, look, player number
Number
1's
1.
over here.
I see it. I knew that's coming. All right, now click on that play, and click on the bottom there to bring us in. Just click on right there, right there, just in the screen,
God, this was an open mic,
in the screen.
to be fair.
Click in the screen. There you go. If you click in the picture, it'll take 2.
No, I need a high five. There we go. I have to high five everybody.
I did not authorize this video to be posted. This was at an open mic, and I had no idea I was being recorded.
Dude, do you not Google yourself?
And,
I do, and I,
This is
I
what
saw
came
that
up?
this was on there.
the way
I need to put up better videos,
my
newer
son
videos.
brought me a mug that said,
But it's just fun to
Look
grill
at
you.
that. Look at that.
little guy. And my response was, how do you know?
Let me see
How
that.
often do you hit open mics, buddy?
I go at least once a
I read a
week,
study that's saying
which I
that,
know is
psychedelic
deplorable.
mushrooms cure
That's okay. I
depression.
don't
But,
go. I don't go to them at all.
So that's been an
But
interesting
I'd like to go
Why
more.
would you? I mean, just do it on
I've started,
stage.
Right.
I've started,
Well, and that's-
when I
yeah.
took mushrooms, I started reading myself,
I'm a terrible
reading
advice
future
bearer.
self, love notes.
Oh, look at that. Now you can watch yourself watch yourself. That's pretty epic.
Look at this guy.
I like that.
Look at this guy.
I don't feel so bad about it.
This
That
guy
guy-
doesn't always being recorded.
That guy's not even real anymore. He doesn't exist.
Where was this at?
That was at Strange Grounds.
Which is a coffee place?
It is a coffee place,
I
yeah.
like drugs. Drugs are fun for
Are
me.
you
They
trying
make
to-
things
We're
weird.
trying to pick your nose.
I thrive in weird situations.
Sorry, that's being very
For
distracting.
instance,
I'd like to talk to you about your stand-up.
Okay.
We'll get rid of your open mic set, and so that
And you
way
guys can all play this
your-
game. It's a lot of
your
fun.
smile
Here's
went
what
away as soon as we started
Yeah, I
playing
did.
this.
Yeah, I
You're
did.
Well, it's
frustrating
well,
that.
there's things that are put. The internet, it can't be controlled, and once something's there,
Uh-huh.
it's there forever.
Yeah,
Whether or not you gave permission for it to be there, it's there, and it
Yeah.
just is.
yeah.
Obviously, I
trying
would
to
like to
fix that
have
now.
better representation of myself
Sure.
online, but that's my fault. I
Yeah,
have
if you
not put together
upload,
the
I mean, how many
videos.
views does that thing have? 38. So if you upload
Yeah,
a
it's
video
not a huge
and
deal,
promote
but-
it with just a little bit of work,
Right.
it'll have 100 views and it'll be the first thing people see for you
Yeah.
when they write video.
You get rid
if
of
you put
that.
up 50 videos,
But-
one a week,
That thing goes away.
inside of, or one a month, inside of a year, you'll have 12 videos. So,
Right.
What? We work together a bunch. I have you in a bunch of shows.
Uh-huh.
How many bits do you have about dad, and mom, dad?
I have probably only like 4 bits that I put together in a kind of a chunk.
Okay.
On
And so, are you
just-
done writing on that topic, or?
I don't know. With the way that my writing just kind of happens, it's organic. I mean,
Mhm.
I have a really hard time sitting down and saying, "Hey, I want to write about this topic,"
Yeah.
and forcing thoughts to come forward and to format them in a somewhat funny way. I have a really hard time with that. So I don't know if I'm done writing about having
Sure.
two dads or not. I doubt it. I mean, it's they're alive.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's going to be interactions with them in the future that are going to be, you know, interesting or funny and worth talking about on
But
stage.
you definitely got to develop that skill
Right.
to be able to do that.
Right.
And, you know, people in this business, if they hire a writer, people are going to want, you know, hey, you know, I need a plumber's bit.
Sure.
I need it next week.
And how do I
and more
develop
importantly, the dads are very funny,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, having met them all, I think this weekend, you have to talk about it more,
Okay.
or you have to learn how to talk about it always,
Okay.
over, you know, in new ways often. You don't have to be the, you know, that guy, but it's funny, it's so part of an act, and having put you in a few shows already, you're probably already at the maxed out point in your own comfort zone at repeating those jokes in front of my audience.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I was thinking about asking you after we worked together on Saturday night. I know that's got to be a problem, that you're maxed out, you know, on the bit, and it's
Right.
really, I want to try and convey to you how often you're going to have to speak about that if you want
Sure.
to. Like, it's funny enough to be a hook,
Sure.
funny enough to be the
Right.
guy with two gay dads.
Right.
Like,
And it's also the thing
So
that
if you-
stands out
yeah.
if you're doing a show, or anybody interviewing you or anything like that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, expect to have to talk about that.
Sure, and I don't mind talking about it. I have a hard time, like, repeating material for years in a row, and it's been
yeah. So I
Been
think
years.
to answer your other question, how do I do that?
sure.
First, you might want to think about how often, say, if you do spaghetti western every month and I'm trying to showcase you and I keep telling people about the guy who has two dads and you don't have tape. So you could use, you know, things like the pre-show at Spaghetti Western to try and gather tape, and don't worry about putting that bit on tape. And then next year, when you know, if you have an opportunity at a big club to get a showcase set and the bit is in there, then replace your previous tape with some new tape. You know, have some showcase sets on YouTube every month. If you're doing my shows and you're gonna do some stand-up before it, I would try to think of how to weave that in the context of a year. How often do you want to, and what do you want to do to make it funny?
Right.
Because at Christmas, I need you
Sure.
to have funny stuff for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and then what if you do all those shows? The January show, you might have something in January where you could promote all through the holidays. If you're appearing at if I do a dirty holiday show and I do other kinds of shows like that, you might be able to use those to promote something you do in January. Then what are you going to say about the two dads? All next year, the following year,
Right.
the year after that, and years after that, you're still going to have dads, and I think
Right.
people are going to ask about them.
Sure.
And so to always have something funny to say on the radio and always a funny bit about them is permissible. It's almost like if you want to do this for real,
Right.
then you want to keep providing your audience with funny jokes about the dads.
That's a really good point. I think.
Yeah, because I made it. Jesus. Welcome to fucking this show.
Yeah. There are no bad Chuck.
I think over the course of
There's a
developing
bunch. There's a bunch.
over developing, you know, kind of as a comic, the stage that I'm in is I'm just now kind of starting to get an idea of what my voice is,
Okay.
and so I've kind of put the dad stuff on the back burner
I'm sure.
because that was some of the first stuff that I wrote, and it was really, really easy to write.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been writing stuff that's a little bit
Do you
more
feel like
difficult for me.
I have a feeling like you think you're done writing the dad bit because you
I
wrote the
don't
one
know.
bit and you have it.
And you bring up a really good point that it's such a good source of material, and nobody else has it.
Mm.
That's mine, and so why wouldn't I continue to use that?
Mm.
And so yeah, I'll take that advice to heart for sure, and I'll continue playing with it. I'll dive back into it.
Well, I ask a technical question about your stand-up. Have you ever been doing a show when the owner's cell phone goes off and whistles?
Yes. Yes. I ignore it.
Normally when, you know,
like I just did.
and before a show, do you ever like turn your cell phone down so that the
Oh, you mean
The
silence
ringer
it?
won't-
Yeah. Yeah.
In the summer, is it fun to hang someone's laundry out to dry? Why are you stifling your laugh? I'm trying to make you laugh. You're trying to be silent back there.
I didn't want them to know I was no longer on mic.
Oh, really? You don't think they know? Oh. They're getting a steady shot of Brad? I thought they just knew you were no longer on mic. Let's get a good look at Eugene, everybody.
I'm back. There we go.
Tell us.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
Well, you know, I've got my elbow in his shot. By far the most professional episode I've taken part in.
Right? I love this. I love doing this. We're learning that there's a swallow of water if you want it. You want it?
I have a whole bottle in the
Okay,
car,
cool.
actually.
Is there any way you could turn your cell phone off, Eugene?
Actually, she just texted me with, oops, sorry.
It is not your fault. It is not your fault. Sweet lady, sweet lady. Someone, the pro should know to have his
My
phone
bad.
off.
My bad.
Turns out our #1 fan is listening. And
So what are you working on?
Currently?
Yeah.
I've been working a lot with Chuck.
Yeah, I know
and
you
it's
did
been
it.
great.
The spaghetti western.
Yep, we did
Right.
the spaghetti western, and that was a lot of fun.
Now he made me put starring in the Daddy's Day show when we put the post up.
Yeah.
Are you starring in the Daddy's Day show?
Apparently,
Well, all right.
I mean, there's several of us, so I think we're all co-stars, right? I mean,
Yeah, see,
you can go that way.
Whoa,
No,
did he
it's
just step out of his starring role?
Did he
step back out of his starring? He did,
You know,
didn't he?
Daddy's Day.
Wow.
I booked. You
I'm
booked a
just
kid with 2
apprehensive
gay
to own
dads.
that. I
You
mean-
booked the
Own that. What do you mean? Why would
No,
you
you
own
booked
that?
you booked the kid with 2 gay dads. That's.
if I'm the star, I'll take that role. I just
I don't know
that
about
was the
star,
case.
but starring. There's several
Starring
stars.
in?
And
Yeah,
yeah,
with
you
stars,
know. I mean, enjoy it.
It's a team effort.
It's definitely a team effort, and that has been the fun part is writing with Bradley, and that's why I wanted him on the show.
Right.
He's sort of him and Jordan Willie the, you know, Mona La is on the show as well as Matt Need.
Mona's coming on our show pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we confirmed her for the end of the month.
Okay.
She's going to do spaghetti western as well. So yeah, I'm sort of repeating a lot of people.
Right.
And that is very fun, and why I wanted to sort of challenge Bradley today and find out what he was going to do about should he be in spaghetti western to the end of the year and always having to do those 7-minute sets. Like, how do you do that every month?
You got to write. That's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I tell all
Yeah.
the young comics. I mean, you got to write. You got
Yeah.
to stay on top of your, stay on top of your writing. And
Yeah.
it's the most important thing that you do. I mean, not making people laugh. That's very, very good. I mean, you're getting out there, getting a set together. That's very, very good. But the most important thing in this business is to train yourself to write jokes.
Sure.
Because that's the business end of this. That's where the
Right.
money end of this comes from. You have to be able to, hey, let me get a hold of this guy and let's get this written. And if you're a writer, then you want to do that. It's like Monday morning, here's the subjects. Tuesday morning, here's the rewrites. This simple as that. And
Right.
Wednesday, by Thursday, it better be on the paper. And it's a plumber's bit. Like I'm saying.
I've only done until Chuck brought me into this Daddy's Day show. I've only ever done the personal writing just for my own stand-up, and so it's been definitely a different animal, getting together with a group, writing, bouncing ideas off of each other, and putting together a show, and that's been really cool for me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a great new experience. I've never done anything like that before, and I feel like it's helped my writing kind of come along.
How long have you been in the stand-up business? How long have you been doing
It'll
this?
be 3 years in September.
Okay, let me ask you this. I mean, I pretty much asked everyone. Since you've been at 3 years, what is different? What did you preconceive comedy was going to be like and turned out completely different? Is there something?
It's a lot more stressful than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because especially when you're working on multiple projects, it's hard to find time to balance everything, and then your own personal life.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And for us
Yeah.
for us who aren't like pro comics, I have a day job, I have 3 kids and a wife.
Right.
everybody wants my attention all the time, and then trying to balance that with, all the other stuff going on, that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You're gonna piss me off
I gotta-
right
I
now.
gotta-
You're
I
gonna
gotta-
piss
I gotta-
me off.
I got a
You
day
think it's
job,
suddenly
2
like
kids and a wife.
as a pro comic, like
Got
when
a
you make
studio,
like a
got
pro
day
comic.
job. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, I'm
it's
not
like-
saying that there's not a lot to balance.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just-
the workload
learning.
only, like magnificent, like it gets to the professional level where you're still pushing 50-hour weeks, and the open mic level is almost achievable with a day job. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I did a
you're
gig
fucking
this
up
weekend. I
if
wanted
you
to.
can't do it.
I wanted to plug the. I'll get the name of the place. It was a bed and breakfast that I did a gig this weekend up in Montrose, and I'll put it up on the right here where my finger is. Right, give me that shot right there. Right there, where my finger is. There, I'm going to put the name of the bed and breakfast that's in Montrose, and it was the most amazing
I can't
show.
point at
It was the most amazing show I've done in a long time.
Really?
Yeah, they had it was like 150 seats in the backyard
Tell you
of
came
this
Oh,
bed
cool.
and breakfast, and it was just amazing. I mean, the crowd was nice, the show was nice, the place was nice. I hadn't done a gig like that in quite a while, and it was outdoors under the stars. I had a ball.
That's
I had
awesome.
a really good time. I had a really good
Oh,
time.
you're gonna put my name in for that one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
sounds,
for sure.
That sounds really
That's
cool.
for sure.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Continue with your
So-
with your rant.
Hey, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. I think he's learned. I'm not a hound bear today.
Wow. No?
No, I guess not. I don't know. I don't. It's hard to hound from this camera angle. Is what.
You look so good.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a bitch in yellow.
Yeah. I'm such a bright pastel. I'm all happy today. I have man boobs, so I feel like I'm very feminine.
Oh, God, I love this show. All right. So where you heading? What are you doing next?
Hey, go back to writing. I
gave you the opportunity to go to writing, but you passed on that.
I was pissed and ranting. What is it like to write? What's the difference between writing a sketch and the stand-up?
The sketch is almost a bit easier because I have people to bounce ideas off of. You know what I mean? And then you're playing instead of sitting inside of your own head, trying to figure out how I feel about something and how am I going to convey that with humor to an audience. You know
And
what I mean?
so-
It feels like less pressure.
What sketches did you write for Daddy's Day?
We're doing my three dads, and then
Really?
and then
I love that already.
and then I think
I'm
we're
very
still-
happy with it. Let me explain. First of all, Daddy's Day
I
is
love that.
an old school radio show that'll take about an hour to put on.
Okay.
And it's sketches basically, but it'll be presented like an old school radio show. And so one of the sketches is Bradley's. Several of them are. He wrote a couple other commercials and such. And so tell him a little bit more about your sketch and what it was like to write that.
It's just fun. I mean, the premise of the sketch is a straight young man is having some issues that a straight young man has when he's in adolescence regarding dating and that kind of stuff, and is panicking, is freaked out, and getting advice from his three dads.
You meet your
All of
girl,
which who
she's
are
too
in-
pretty, and then you
Right,
run
right.
into the bathroom
Right.
in a panic.
Panicking. I don't want to face her. I'm afraid. What if she doesn't like me? What if we kiss? Like what?
Sure,
where is
sure.
this gonna go? And then I have three dads that are caught in a love triangle,
Three dads,
all,
and they
all
all.
of which have their own form of fatherly advice.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So and for me, my role in that is what's the my three sons' uncle? What was his name?
Oh, God. No.
We're
I
gonna put his
remember Ernie.
picture right
Right.
here.
Rotating.
So yeah, we sort of spoofed the My Three Sons thing with My Three Dads, and then it'll all progress in a very gay Father's Day show. It just started with
Is it a gay-centric Father's Day show?
no,
I
because
mean,
Matt Need is on it, and we've as a cast and crew or writing crew.
Matt's not gay?
No, You know, as a writing crew, we work to.
3 beers in, Matt's game.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but no, I wouldn't fuck him. Not even 20 beers in. The final episode is the final sketch is a like 50s version of the like space shows, so like a sci-fi adventure.
Yeah, like Lost in Space.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's an adventure to planet XXXY. we have to straighten the mission out.
Captain Matt Need finds
Yeah.
that this is all just a little gay. Just a little too
So
gay.
we gotta get to
Time
planet
time to straighten this crew
XXXY.
out a bit.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's one of my shows.
Well,
the requirement is fun.
This segment brought to you by Jokes.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that.
Jokes.chuckroy.com.
Look how it looks on the tablet. You
Okay.
gotta get it up on screen.
Can we get? Can
Look
we
at
see
that.
that?
I'm thrilled.
That looks nice. Sweet. Jokes.chuckroy.com.
Let's put it on Bradley's camera. We really just jack people up.
Jokes.
That's what you're looking at.
.chuckroy.com.
There you go.
There we
Look at
go.
that. That looks good.
Who's the hot red? Who's the girl in red there? Is that an ad?
That's a Google ad.
I'm Googling.
Yeah.
What was today's joke,
It's
Chuck?
looking really good. Today's jokes. The better one was this one. This is if you scroll down, you get 2 jokes a day, one at 8 p.m. and 4 p.m. Oh, I have one for your kid. So this one's Ted Cruz. Oh, that's yours.
You know what, Chuck?
We went to your porn.
Oh no, it's back to the page.
We're back.
We
We,
coulda-
we actually have the ability to put this
Yeah,
on.
we could have just saved this. I don't know why we didn't just save this and put it on screen. Like
we could go live with this desktop if we wanted to, but
It's
we
just-
don't. We didn't.
I
That's
don't,
just
I don't know
great.
why we're doing
Yeah,
this.
okay.
folks. We're,
Anyway.
we're being silly. So I appreciate the plug.
Yeah.
And then you got to see the Father's Day cards. Scroll down and then get the. That's me hitting my microphone. And then get the Father's Day cards because those are. They say, Dad, I would have gotten your card on time. I was going to send you a Father's Day card, but I inherited your attention to detail. So I intend to post that on my dad's Facebook page this week. That way I don't have to send him a card. So yeah, jokes.chuckroy.com if you want Father's Day cards. And Daddy's Day jokes all week.
Yeah.
It's going to be perverted.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Daddy's Day jokes. Sweet.
What's the too far point in making fun of your dads?
You ever?
There is a too far point, but I don't want to say that.
Yeah. Is it when you were yelling at your dad when you were 5 or 12? Or when
No.
you made up? Or there's...
No. It's something real personal,
Okay.
but I don't. As long as I'm not releasing anything that they wouldn't want their friends to know, there's
Sure.
no breaking point.
So...
But you know
my
something
parents have
that-
been really.
What the hell do you know?
Well,
I'm just kidding.
my parents have all been really, really supportive. I've had sketchy jokes where I'm like, can I say, is this, do you guys care? Is this okay? And every single time they've been like, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. They've all been very supportive.
Did you ever question your own sexuality because of your dad?
I did, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I used to.
And
Well, yeah.
decided you didn't like it?
I'm comfortable where I'm at.
No.
Did we really have to go there?
I'm sorry. I thought I'd throw it. I don't know, man.
I mean, when you're a kid, you're kind of freaked out. You're like,
Right, you
oh,
wanna be
Dad's
just like your
gay.
dad.
Is
Right.
that inherited?
Is that inherited
Is
or-
that
yeah.
inherited?
Right.
And,
Yeah. But
turns out it's not.
turned out you're completely
Yeah,
not
you
gay.
could ask my dad and find out. My big bareness is not inherited. I mean, he's quite the heterosexual. He yielded me.
Yeah, he is.
Quite the fagola.
He is quite the heterosexual.
My dad yielded me.
Wait a minute. Wait a
so-
minute.
Yeah,
I think
don't
Trump-
think you're. I don't.
I think trumped.
I don't think you, Bradley, are
I
a good
think you've been
definition.
trumped.
You're not a good. You're not a good proof that your dad is pushing out masculinity.
Well,
Yeah, fair enough.
My dad is pushing out masculinity.
well, your dad's pushing out bears.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, and your sister. Well,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
My sister's kind of masculine
Yeah,
too.
this is I didn't say that. Sis, that was Chuck Roy. That was your own flesh and blood that said that.
She
So,
loves me.
cool.
We should take a commercial for a second, and
Yeah.
tell us about.
You're watching EUGE, an inside look at chasing a dream right now on EUGEshow.com.
Tell us about the exciting, you had a sponsor
I know
on last
exciting.
week's show.
Oh, yes.
And-
Hernandez.
You go back to that camera. That
Team
would be
Hernandez Real Estate was our first ever sponsor. If you go to our website, you'll see there, and that lovely picture is actually my wife.
Nice.
That's her, and she is a member of Team Hernandez Real Estate. If you are looking to sell your house in the Denver, Colorado area, or anywhere in the Colorado area, actually, she sold a couple of homes that are outside of Denver. But if you're looking to sell your home or buy a home, check us out. Go to EUGE.com, and we'll have a link to her website, her Facebook page. And,
Yeah, if you want to buy a mansion,
Yeah,
if
whatever.
you want us to scout, we'll
Yeah.
go do that for you.
Yeah, we'll
You
go
know,
out and
you
tape
call us,
whatever you want.
and you can get Maria to.
We're going to try to get a real estate show going here on YouTube.
I like
If
that.
I can chime in a little bit,
Chime.
my day job is real estate marketing.
Get out of here.
And if you're not considering selling your home, you'd be surprised at how much equity you actually have. The market value is up about 12% from last year. You stand to
So
make
they
a ton
can
of money.
refi.
No,
Yeah.
sell your house.
Oh, definitely sell your house.
Sell your house.
Okay.
Pocket the money.
There you go. Cool.
But
I
make
love
sure
it.
you find somewhere else to buy
Real
first.
estate marketing.
Yeah.
Nice. We're going to have to talk.
Okay.
All right. Sweet. Wow. What are you doing, Chuck? I see.
I'm
hear
masterminding
things
a
binging
phenomenal
and-
show. I mean, your sponsors must be thrilled.
Yeah, my sponsors are thrilled. They should be.
Now tell us, how did you measure their level of thrilledness, other than in the bedroom, Eugene?
Who?
Your
Actually,
sponsor.
my sponsors, their Facebook page got click-throughs. Actually, 25 click-throughs from our site to their site,
Okay.
which is fantastic.
Okay. And
Yeah,
how
it's
many
for-
click-throughs?
traffic.
Could you say that again to the camera, though? That'd be great.
25, about 25 click. Why do you keep giving me this camera when I have to talk over there when everybody's over there? Give me that camera right there. Let me talk that one. There we go. Hi.
Okay.
Hello. That's me. How you doing? So yeah, we had 25 click-throughs on her site, to her Facebook site. She got some likes, and that was all because that they advertised with us. So, that circle is fulfilled, and we can drive, advertising, people to your site. So if you'd like to advertise with us, please, let us know at EUGEshow.com. Eugene at EUGEshow.com.
With the circle be unbroken, by my Lord, by and by.
There you go. Here's to you.
Bradley, we want to get a little further into your comedy.
Okay.
We talked at the beginning about what a schedule would be like for you to repeat shows.
Mhm.
So what do you think you would talk about? Like if holiday stories?
What's
Are there funny
interesting to you
holiday
now?
stories for
Where are you
your
going?
family?
What are you working on?
Okay.
Look at
One
your
at a-
question
I'm
overriding
confused
mine.
now.
Go with his.
Go with
Yeah, we
his.
were doing a thing where
What am I
overrided his question, and now he's going to
You saw that, right?
override
You saw
mine.
that? Okay, we're bad. We're sorry.
It would be better if you answered my question.
Go ahead, answer Chuck's question.
See, folks, what you got to learn to do is get your question in.
Chuck took over the board this
I
week.
took over the board and I've taken over the show. What would be a good summer barbecue bit? Do you have barbecue memories of that stands out? It's barbecue time.
You're putting me on the spot.
I like that.
I know. It's intimidating. Scary.
No, it stands out as a terrible topic. What's a family summer? What do you do in the summer? Vacation
Barbecue?
when
You know what?
go out?
I went and did a barbecue with my family last summer. My whole family is horizontally challenged.
They don't lay down well,
They're all overweight.
or is that vertical?
And
Oh. What? No, I
mean,
met your
no.
mom and dad.
no.
Yeah, we gotta,
Hold on.
Dad and dad look great. Mom looks a tiny little girl.
My wonderful grandmother, more so than she's diabetic. She ate herself into diabetes. We were at a summer
She
barbecue.
ate herself?
She ate
She
herself
put the
into
more and more
diabetes.
so. My name's right here. My name's Chuck Roy. Over here, all day, all show.
Anyways, I found it funny. My wife and my kids and I, we all show up to the park, and as soon as we get there, everybody's like, "Hey, have some fried chicken, have some brownies, have some cookies, have some soda, have just eat." And the whole time we're like, "Well, we ate. We weren't expecting to come.
Right.
It's kind of last minute for us." And it seemed like it made everybody really uncomfortable that we didn't want to eat. And so I felt almost as like I was a narc officer in a drug den. And they were like,
Right.
have a taste.
Right.
Like they weren't going to trust me until I ate a chicken wing.
Dude.
So I mean that was funny to me.
That's funny. I like that. I like that. You should
I
do
like
that.
that.
It needs
You
punch.
should have the
No,
guy come
it's
up and
good
go,
to see.
here, eat this. Come on, what's wrong with that? Seriously, eat
The
this.
point of the question wasn't, what are the jokes? It's to
Sure.
start, a journey on topics and to walk you through sort of what your job might be
Sure.
in the coming years. If you're going to do comedy, it's going to be hot this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're going to walk into places where it's too hot and you might want to think about how to make somebody laugh during those moments,
Well,
change the topic. What can you do to make that a moment of win?
There's stuff I do about being redheaded
Uh-huh.
and inherently being bad at summer.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I don't like the sun. So I joke around about that a lot and just my own complexion and that kind of stuff
Enemy
too. And
of
that,
the
that
sun?
goes really well. What?
Enemy of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can
like
use my skin to signal passing by ships if I were ever stranded on
Oh, man.
a desert island.
I literally can't get lost on an island. That's funny.
That's good. I like that. Put him on a lazy Susan
Yeah.
inside of the lighthouse. If you just light up the building. That's terrific.
I like that.
I got rescued before I hit the water. They just. Oh.
Yeah, it lets
love it.
you.
Okay.
What it lets you do is look at your summer. You have a July show to do.
Mhm.
If you're doing spaghetti western, that's going to be on the 5th of July.
Right.
Barbecues might be a beaten up topic by then, but you also know that you can't go in and do your same old act.
But nobody's
Right.
doing barbecue with my two dads but you.
That's true.
Yeah,
Nobody.
so it's just
There's a
to
lot of
be able to
sausage at
say,
that barbecue.
hey, we're
That
on
I'm
the board.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah, I do. I kind of like a barbecue with a lot of sausage.
With a whole lot of sausage.
We'll invite you over. It'll be fun.
Well, thank you. And what are you doing for Pride?
I'm going. I'm gonna go march with my dad. With my dad's.
No, I mean
for
about
United.
like something to do to improve your self-image.
And
Are you
to improve my self-image.
I'm going to hang out with my dad. What are you
No,
talking about?
I didn't know how to finish that joke, but to get more pride out of you, I did.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I
Sorry.
thought you- yeah.
Yeah.
What are you?
Just
Double
me being a
entendres.
pun guy
Yeah, it's cool.
or a double entendre guy.
So you're gonna walk in the Pride Fest?
Yeah.
With your dad?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
I don't know.
A skirt.
Probably. I think they're providing shirts. So I'll
Oh,
probably
nice.
You don't want to wear
some
the
shirts.
provided shirt.
I'm
It's
fine with
6
it.
sizes too small. You want to get yourself.
Oh no! Well, if it was the right size, I was gonna cut it to
Okay.
the midriff anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, they'll call that the Haltom top. Thank you. I'm on the board. You tuned in for an hour for me to get to
It took
that.
a hard. What did it take to get that
It
check?
took
But
me
it
a
was
while
worth
to get
it.
on the board, everybody. I wanted to be on the board earlier, but I just
That's
been
all right.
off.
Dude,
The
it was-
yellow.
That was perfect though.
This shirt is never fucking coming back. I hope you know that. I mean, not until I can put a sport coat over it or something. This was a horrible choice. It ruined my comedy all show.
I like it. It looks good on you, man. I mean, look at
Really?
you.
No, I hate it. but,
Hold
all
on.
right, maybe
Let me
I'll like
show you the first text we got
I've
from my wife.
I've never really, I guess, took into account.
it. Looks good. Oh, okay.
And then when
she
you
was talking
commented
about
on
the
it,
camera angles. You know
Well,
what I
she
mean?
talked
She's
about
talking
us.
the
We all
camera angles.
the camera angle, the
Look
studio,
at
the
how
whole
good you
thing.
Look at Bradley.
It does look nice though, what?
Yeah.
Didn't it? It
Yeah.
does look nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look very thoughtful in that camera angle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thoughtful?
Sometimes.
hmm What are you scared of?
What am I scared of?
hmm
Failure.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna blow your fucking comedy.
Oh, I know.
How are you gonna be scared of failure? I mean,
Well,
comics
I mean,
are
obviously I'm
like
afraid-
baseball batters, man.
I'm
3
afraid
out of
to-
10 is great.
I'm afraid to fail, but it doesn't keep me from trying. I mean, I look at failure and I don't want to fail,
hmm
but I get a lot out of it.
Right?
What's the fear of failing? Like fear in failing?
Putting a well, what do you mean exactly?
What's
Like,
scares
what
you
would
about-
be
Why would
the,
I be afraid to fail?
Yeah,
you're
what
on a
scares you
roller
about failing?
coaster. I'm afraid I'm going to fall off. I'm afraid of,
Sure.
I am not afraid of
Right.
UFOs coming and shooting lasers at me.
Speak for yourself.
failing.
On a roller coaster. There are times where I'm afraid of UFOs coming and shooting at me, but while I'm on a roller coaster, I'm actively afraid of things like
It's
falling
not as
off
bad as
or
you think
what.
it's gonna be.
So doing stand-up, what are you afraid of failing in stand-up? What would be the, you know, are you afraid of falling off the stage or not getting laughs?
No, I'm afraid of giving up. You know what I mean? Like 15 years down the road, I'm afraid that one day I'll just be like, I'm done. And I don't, you know what I mean?
I've
I
quit
don't know.
this
That may be some unnecessary
19
anxiety.
times. I'm a retired stand-up comedian. I don't, you know, maybe I'm back in the game. Right? You know, like I still am at like maybe I'm back in the game. 2 specials and a movie coming out, and I'm really
Just
still like
checking
going,
to see.
All right.
you know, the first time I quit seriously was after I did it all. I was in a coffee shop. I was turning 30. I was 28. I had been on Third Rock from the Sun and worked for Craig Kilborn. You know, a job that did not meet my expectations for everything that I had to give up
To get
Sure.
that
to
gig.
get there.
Right.
Every LaPierre family birthday
Oh, yeah.
that I missed on a Saturday, those are friends. Like, never mind my family, those are the birthdays I make it to, the friends whose birthdays I missed.
Yeah.
The job at the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn, was it worth it? Yeah, maybe. Not the way I was treated at times. And so I quit doing all the fat guy comedy. I was at a coffee shop. I wrote, "You're fired. You've done, you know, like you're fired from stand-up. You've done everything, acting." I never thought I wanted to be on Third Rock from the Sun.
Right.
So why, you know, why keep at it if it wasn't making me happy? Then I got to "you're fired from writing." And I went,
You like writing,
yeah, love writing.
right?
And stand-up, it made me just go right back to stand-up. Stand-up is executing your writer like nothing else. And I just went, I can clearly stay doing these 2. But I was done. I had a minute, you know, where I was
And
like,
what is- I
I'm
mean,
out. And it's, you have the
It's
right.
gotta be a shitty feeling, though, right?
No, it
You
was
know?
great. It was great.
Was
I mean,
it?
I was into politics before this. At 18, I was shaking hands with Rush Limbaugh, Jack Kemp, and you know, clerking for an ex-congressman as his political aide. So that's
That's gotta
18,
hurt.
19,
You shook
20.
hands with Rush Limbaugh?
It did hurt because I was coming out and I was working what they sort of say, climbing very hard up the wrong ladder. So in stand-up and in career advice to people, I always like, just, it's okay if you get to the point where you're done. Stand-ups who find out they're just a hobby stand-up, that's okay.
Okay.
Are you a good hobby stand-up? There's a guy, you
So
know,
what
I
do you
met that
think in,
hosts his own show once
are
a
you-
month, and it's just like he was embarrassed about it, and you go, do
Are
you
you-
show up actively and do it well?
Are you more
know?
scared you're just wasting your time? Is that what you're saying? Like you're
I guess sometimes,
Or-
but I don't really view it as a waste of time because I thoroughly enjoy it.
right?
I mean, even if this never pans out for me on a level where I'm able to monetize doing stand-up comedy and be able to support my family doing it, the journey's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the fear of failure is am I going to prevent myself from being able to succeed?
Right. Well,
No,
a couple
yeah,
things. A couple of
no,
things
I mean,
I always
you
tell
would have to
them-
really mess up big.
I always tell the young comics that, you know, don't be afraid to fail, first of all, you know, and just, you know, get on stage and keep doing it. I mean, if you get down the line at 15 years from now and you decide that, hey, this isn't for me, you haven't wasted your time. You've had an amazing time. But
Right.
I do tell all comics too that you better enjoy the ride. I hate when comics say, you know, I'm gonna be this or I'm gonna be that, and when I get this, then I've made it. When I hit this, then I made it. You know, because if you're not enjoying the ride, then you need to get out of this business, because
Right.
90% of the people in this business only get to take the ride.
Right.
You know, they're never going to be Bobcat or what I don't know, whoever they're looking up to, you know, right now. But they're never going to be that. If you're not enjoying doing stand-up as a stand-up comic and you can't enjoy a backyard in Montrose, then you need to get out of the business. If you're waiting to be a success in this business, to let somebody else point at you and go, hey, you know, you've made it, you need to get out of this business, because this ain't a business where somebody's going to do that for you. This is a
Yeah.
business where
Yeah,
you
I
can be
agree.
in this business for, you know, 30 years, 25 years, and no matter where you go, you're going to end up in a club somewhere. No matter how far up the ladder you go. If you look at all the old comics, the ones that were big when I was coming, they're back in the clubs now, because that's where you end up. I mean, you can't you can't get away from stand-up. If it's in you, it's in you.
Right.
So, you're not wasting your time. Don't let that scare you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you've got a whole lot of other things to be scared of.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever
Definitely
seen your act?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If
right?
I wanted to go pro at that, I'd be terrified.
That's
What would be the need to support your family? How much, what would that take? Insurance and
I don't know, 60 grand.
It ain't.
how
a
much?
year?
60 grand a year would do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that would pay mortgage and insurance and cars and everything. I
Mhm.
mean, we live off of less than that now, so that'd be a nice, comfortable
Well, 60
life
grand a
for us.
year in this business, you can do that. You
Yeah.
can do that. That's not out of the norm. I mean, there are people that are pulling down twice that you've never heard of that only work 4 nights a week. But you've got to get into the business and you've got to know those connections to know that exists. But in this town of Denver, Colorado, there are several comics that their names, but like nationally on the club scene, they're not known. But they work the cruise ships, they work the clubs, all around everywhere. But and they make $60,000-$70,000 a year.
Right.
They do okay, but they're not famous. They're not huge. They're just paying the rent, which is you can do that.
And that's, I mean, if I want to take this thing as far as it'll go,
Mhm.
but if I could do that, that would be my measure of success.
Right.
Being able to support my family and provide them, a good life while being able to do something
Now,
that I love.
let me throw this at you. Let me ask you a little bit of reality. I mean, 60 grand a year. Are you willing to, number one, for 60 grand a year, you're probably going to have to work 2, maybe 3 weekends, 4-day weeks out of town, out of every month.
Mhm.
So that's talking, you got children, you're missing their birthdays, you're missing anniversaries, you're on
Right.
the road, you're living in a hotel, you're missing, everything that is the life with your family. And 60 grand is the number you put on that. That's, 60 grand, it's okay money in the comedy business, but for that kind of money, you've missed a lot of life.
That's true, and that, and that's another thing is I'm trying to reconcile personally whether do I really start hitting this really, really hard and trying to push it to move forward, or do I maybe wait till my kids are a little bit older,
Yeah.
and just kind of hone the craft and sit back and just kind of continue at a pace that allows me to be a great dad and be present all the time, but still develop as a comedian. And
I don't think you got to slow down the pace to getting a new YouTube video.
Yeah.
No, not to getting
Well,
a
that's
YouTube.
step
You can-
one.
Yeah, but
For sure.
I mean, I spent a lot of my son's youth on the road, a lot of it from when he was a baby to probably up until 12, 13. I'm on the road, and I'll be honest with you, man.
And that was tough because back then you had to travel by
Yeah,
train.
exactly. or
And by train, he
mule.
means covered
Yeah,
wagon
exactly. A wagon train.
Eugene was the first person to do a spaghetti western comedy show.
I did the original.
Yeah, he saw the idea.
I knew the Nick brothers. I knew those guys.
Yeah, in 1863, Eugene was there.
God. But yeah, I'm just saying, you miss a lot, man. I mean, there's a lot.
Was it a worthwhile sacrifice?
I look at the relationship I have with my son now, and it is more distant than I would like for it to be. He loves me to death. He's my son, but we have the relationship of a person that was on the road for most of his. When he's at my house, he's visiting. When he's at his mom's house, he's home.
Okay.
And that's because he spent most of the time, at his mom's house. When I'm on the road, that's where he was, And when he's with his mom, no matter what house that is, that's home to him. And where I am is, that's where my dad lives.
Sure.
Even if he has a room in my place, but that's where my dad lives. So, those things, that kind of real life that people don't think about
Right.
at your end of this business.
Right.
I mean, this whole business is missing a lot. And then this business is also some of the greatest moments in your life, some of the highest highs you're ever going to have as far as people, endorphins jumping, great shows, and some of the highest highs you're ever going to have, and followed by 30 minutes later, you're in a hotel room by yourself
Right.
with nothing to do, nobody to tell about it, So that's how a lot of comics get into drinking. You got to drink that off.
Right.
You can't just lay down and be done with that. You got to
Yeah.
drink that down. That's a lot of comics do. And that's the
I have
business.
no idea
Yeah.
what he's talking about.
I'm
This
just
is
saying.
You go home from your gig and you just type more.
No, you
No
go home.
drinking.
You go home.
go home.
You go home
More
from your
new
gig,
jokes.
and you
That's
got
the
all
job.
those endorphins jumping, and you've just had an amazing show, and you want to tell somebody, you want to talk about it. You don't want to just sit down and be done with it. You want to relive it.
Yeah.
But there's nobody there to do that with.
It's
just you.
You're right. You're right. It is just you.
And if you got to get up in the morning and drive us 7 hours, you got to go to bed now.
yeah,
How you going to do that? You drink that down.
I would
Xanax.
suggest someone watch an episode.
I'm not
of
saying I
EUGE.
do. I'm just saying that that's a
You're
trap
right.
that a lot of
You're
entertainers
right.
get in.
Me, what I like to do is drink. We had a great episode.
Are we done,
and,
Chuck?
We're definitely.
Oh my God, we're over.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's quick.
Is that what you meant when the round? The wrap it up thing. That's what the wrap. All right,
I
my
didn't
bad.
mean to tell you.
Is it cool if I plug something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, plug away. Give me a
I've-
camera. Give me a camera, Chuck.
I've started my own podcast.
I told you.
Look at that.
Go.
I figure I might as well join.
Yes,
Right?
uh-huh.
Everybody's got one.
Do you have video cameras yet?
No.
No.
But what we're doing.
If he had
so-
video cameras, would he have
Yeah,
such
no, like-
shitty YouTube
Thank you.
videos?
Yeah,
That's a
true
good
that.
point.
True that.
Sorry.
What we're doing?
Sorry.
So the thought of the podcast, the concept is we interview 4 comics. At the end of that 4-week run, we do a live show with those comics. It's a showcase followed by a live podcast.
Right on.
And the whole idea of the show is just kind of talking to them about how they perceive the world.
So,
What's
Do
the
you-
name of the podcast?
The other side.
The Other Side.
So you can follow us at Other Side Pod on Twitter.
Other Side Pod.
Yep.
Okay.
And yeah,
We're going to
that's
put
getting
that
up and
right
running.
here.
Right. We're gonna put it right. Hold on. Let me see. Right
Put it
there.
right-
It's
put it
gonna
right
be
here.
right
I'll
there.
send you the clip art. Please put it right here.
We'll float it in.
And if you would like to get your logo here, go to the EUGE page and contact us.
You guys should just start using the guest's forehead.
We
for
should do that.
advertising
No
space.
lie. That's a great idea.
There you
That's
go,
a great
little
idea.
scroll.
Your logo here, baby.
Yeah. Say goodnight, Eugene.
How else can they get hold of you? Anything else?
I'm on Facebook
Yeah.
and I'm on Twitter at Bradley Haltom. Haltom is in Mary.
Bradley Haltom.
Yep. And yeah.
Right on. All right. Bradley Haltom, thank you so much for being our guest today. We really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope you come back.
Thanks for the great advice,
wow.
both of you, and the insight. I
Thank you.
appreciate that a lot.
You're going to need great advice with that
I'm
act.
sure I will. Yeah.
Wait.
That's the part of doing my shows. We build you up and break you all down. It's all
Right.
one man.
Here's
You
a
should
great
do
thing.
it in reverse.
Here's the great thing about doing our show is that I just got a text from my wife says there's enchiladas if anybody's hungry.
Oh, that is terrific.
I love this. All right.
Wrap it up,
Yeah,
Eugene.
thanks a lot. Good night, everybody. Bye.